let's have some fun. Boris, then.
Wait, he's gone.
He's got. Well, he hasn't gone yet. He's said he's going, and that's the point. And what we're going to talk about today is we can talk about Boris. No, let's not talk too much about Boris. But he has said he's resigning, which opens the floodgates to all the other people who've been nipping at his heels for so long. Well, actually, what was quite funny is a lot of them were they were well behind him for ages, and then a day, I think it was this week, maybe yesterday, they all just went, you know what, nah. Just overnight, everyone was writing letters. Rishi Sunak's might have been written 2 weeks ago, and they were just waiting for the right day to do it. Very interesting how politics works, particularly the Conservative Party. This isn't the first time they've done it, but it has opened it up to a lot of... It's the leadership race, and we want to discuss how the leadership race might affect the stocks, or the way that the UK might lean as far as the businesses that are owned in there. So let's have a look. At the top, we've got Rishi. Rishi wants a part of this. He's the Chancellor. He's the one that's just released the recent budget. There's been a few tax cuts. I'm trying to do this without being too political. How do I do this, Steve?
Well, there was a tax rise. There wasn't a tax cut. He promised cuts in the future, wasn't he? So you've got Rishi, who was, I suppose he's the ex-Chancellor now. So yeah, we've got Ben Wallace, who is the Defence Minister. We've got Liz Truss, who is the cheese purveyor. We've got Michael Gove, who is the only man I've ever seen who got sacked on the day everyone else resigned. We've got Tom Tugendhat, who is a moderate, I think. He's probably not got an awfully great chance of getting in. Dominic Raab, was he the Home Secretary for a period of time?
Yeah, but everyone will know him as the COVID guy, right? He was initially the COVID guy before the dude who touched up as secretary
Boris
became part of it. No, he's one of them. But oh god, we should have really done some more research.
Oh
on this.
yes, you mean Matt Hancock?
Yes, Matt Hancock, who did really well at the start of COVID. Everyone sort of liked him, and then towards the end, he just became the most hated person in the country, which is incredible. His story went really far behind, but he has been very vocal recently. I'm sure I've seen him on the news, and you just go, get out of the way, mate. You've got no horse in this race now. But yeah, so Rishi Sunak going in. I think Rishi Sunak's a little bit more of a moderate than you think. I think he's not as conservative, so he could really squash the margins on some of the British companies. Something that we don't need with British companies at the moment is more squishing of margins. That's obviously happening through inflation. So there's a couple of companies out there that you're more discretionary companies. I mean, a lot of the top FTSE 100 are cyclical or discretionary and not necessarily non-discretionary. So they might be able to keep up with inflation a little bit, but margins are always going to get compressed. And lower down the list, maybe in your AIM, you've got a bit of non-discretionary, but which are going to get crushed a little bit. I just don't see Rishi Sunak being able to help them out with anything like that, even if he doesn't believe in his current the release he's recently done on the budget. He probably wouldn't have released that himself. He's saying that he was pressured to release that by Boris Johnson. I don't know if that's true. He's obviously cut the ties as early as he could, just so he can make the play for the Prime Minister seat. I don't know how it's going to affect him, but next down the list, Liz Truss opened up some pork markets in Beijing. Was the last thing I remember of that, and horrible delivery. I just don't see how she's. Do you see any of these guys making a big difference to the market, or is this just out of the government's control now?
I think no, I don't really see any of them. I think the markets will be just most interested in getting what the market perceives to be the best candidate. I don't think the list that's been presented to me, the YouGov, I've seen a YouGov poll today. It basically shows Ben Wallace as being pretty far in front with Penny Mordaunt. Both of them
Education Secretary, I think she was.
Yeah, Education and Defence Secretary. They're both in the cabinet. They're with Rishi in third. I would imagine it's out of them three. I would guess don't rule out Jeremy Hunt. No. But the rest of them, I think, I just don't think they'll go for any of the rest. Well, I mean, Hunt ran Boris to the final, didn't he? So
yeah, he did. But he was like a journeyman sort of client. I think he was. He just knew he was going to lose. He pulled out at the end. I think actually he had absolutely no chance. No one wants Jeremy Hunt in there. He's the most hated person in the NHS still, even though. Rab and Hancock have had their way with it since. Everybody in the NHS will hate Jeremy Hunt. Anyway, we'll move. We'll go on. Carry on.
Well, I was just going to say, but are any of those people signed up to the Tory party who get to vote for him?
Yeah. Well, this is it, isn't it?